here's what we know. Like, when we find that we are in a season that feels off balance, right? Like, you got a whole bunch of business goals, you're working really hard in business, and personal life is suffering. One way to understand that is that goal setting sucks, right? That could be one way that you just interpret that part of the world. Another way to understand it is actually that we just haven't set enough counterbalancing goals in other areas that matter. Why? Sometimes because it's hard, right? It's really easy to set an income goal, and it's really easy to set a business goal, right? It's like there's numbers, there's metrics, you look at them, you can see it on your tax return, you can see it in your bank accounts. Try setting a goal for a relationship with your teenagers, right? Try setting a goal of how to like rekindle a relationship. And the reality is that stuff is often far more qualitative than quantitative. It's really hard to like put a number on it. And so we shy away from that. And then we start saying something like goal setting doesn't work. The reality is we just need to find ways to set goals inside of every category of our life. By the way, if you haven't heard of this study, right? I think there's a study, I think it's Harvard. I guess it could have been Stanford, but it's a whole idea of when you're setting goals, right? You get this whole population. Not everybody sets goals. So the fact that you're on this webinar right now, like, you are a goal setter, right? Like, you're attracted to this. But secondly, not everybody sets written goals. So even when you do goals, you're not necessarily setting goals in writing. Remember, part of it's good enough, right? I told you, or Al shared the story of we set goals, then we lost the journal. We didn't read this thing. It wasn't on our mirror every day. We didn't do chants in the morning. We didn't do anything. We literally just wrote goals, and then it disappeared. And a year later, that subconscious stuff had gone to work, right? I mean, that's what's really powerful. But the 3% of the class that had written goals and a plan were making 10 times as much as the rest of the 97% of the class. And I could say, who cares about the money? The money was probably the least important if they set goals properly, right?